Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wholesale Hotties, a place where ladies in real estate are talking about real estate. I'm your host and MC, Sharon-Lee A. Smith, together with my ladies with the mostesses, all my hostesses, Donda Molinex down there in the corner. Hey, Donda, I miss you, girl. And over to my left, right, I don't know what side this is. Monique Fell right over here. And our latest hottie, Jennifer Stewart. I'm so glad you're with us, girl.
Good evening, ladies. Great to see you all. Nice to meet you, Kelly.
And today, yes, oh, you stole my thunder. Our special guest today is Kelly. And Kelly, girl, I am not going to butcher your last name. Can you tell us what your last name is?
And Zahoudanis. Zahoudanis.
Okay, I thought so, but I didn't want to mess it up. Zahoudanis. Nice to meet you, Kelly. Welcome to the show. Kelly, you are an Owners Club member, you are a Sub 2 member, and you are a unicorn agent, we like to call you.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about you. How did you get into real estate? Where are you from? Give us the dirt.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for having me on. It's nice to meet you all. Donda, we've had the pleasure of meeting before in person up in beautiful Sedona. So yeah, I've been in real estate now for, oh my gosh, 20 plus years, 25 years. I started back in California. So I was born and raised in New York and then moved after college out to Los Angeles and got my real estate license back then. So many years ago, got involved in real estate as a realtor on the traditional side of things. And then moved around quite a bit. I was in Portland, Oregon, and was licensed there. And then, basically kind of put real estate up on the shelf for a while when I was working my corporate job for many years in sales and marketing in a variety of different industries. And it was back in 2021. My husband and I moved out of Phoenix. We had been living in Phoenix for quite some time, moved up to Cottonwood, Arizona, which is about 15 minutes south of Sedona. And I decided to get licensed again. And at the same time, also started to dive into real estate investing. I had done just a master class through Women's Real Estate Investors Network and joined that community as well as another mentorship community, and immediately jumped into the fix and flip game. So my husband actually has about 30 plus years of construction experience, and I dragged him along with me, whether he wanted to or not. And we bought our first property wholesale here up in the Verde Valley of Arizona, which is essentially Arizona's wine country.
Mm-hmm.
So we renovated that property, and then we did a BRRRR essentially. So we refinanced into a DSCR loan and kept it as a short-term rental for a few years, and then sold it just about 4 years after we converted it.
That's awesome. Okay. Just on that, I have several questions. First and foremost, you started in LA County in California. That's a wild market. And I imagine back then even wilder. Tell us how brutal that was. Tell me about that experience a little bit.
So actually, it was a pretty amazing experience. It was back when properties were just kind of going crazy at the time and everything was appreciating. It was back in probably about 2000, I guess. And I was actually working in the Pacific Palisades west side of LA market. So, you could do rather well with not selling a whole lot of property. So that was really my first introduction. And my ex-father-in-law and ex-husband, they were actually in.
She freeze?
Yes, she did. It's all right. She'll either be back in a second or we're going to be taking it for ourselves. There you are.
Sharon, we can't hear you. Or I can't.
You can't.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, maybe just
I
me.
hear Kelly again.
Okay,
Ahead, Kelly.
fantastic.
Your father-in-law, something, and then
So my ex-father-in-law and ex-husband, actually, they were in commercial real estate development. So that also planted a seed in terms of real estate investing and development and whatnot. So that's always just kind of sat there with me for the years, over the years. And then also on top of the other flip that I had done, we had then up here, we did another historic home renovation and flip as well.
Really, that's interesting. I love historical homes.
Yeah.
Someday when I retire,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do is find those old, really cool homes and just restore, tinker, right? Not like flip them, right? But tinker, restore them. Anyway.
I would not do that one again, I will say. It was,
It's like, no, Sharon, you don't want to do that.
yeah, we're still married, and that's a miracle because we did a lot of the work ourselves. And it was, I mean, we gutted the entire home and we had to do all of the electrical, all of the plumbing. I mean, at the end of the day, it was really gratifying to bring the property back to life because it had been in foreclosure and it really was a mess. And it's a very small town and the community was thrilled to see the work that we had done to it. So that was gratifying. But in terms of an investment, it wasn't ideal.
Well, you know what they say about a marriage that survives that kind of a renovation. You don't touch anything.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We've done it all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, how old was the house, Kelly? What year was that?
It was very early 1900s. I think it was like 1912 or something like that.
Yeah, we moved from Portland, Oregon, like at 1905. So I know what you're talking about, lath and plaster, and you have concrete. You got to kind of go in and surface.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work,
but like you said, it is rewarding when you're done. But I think there's so many unseens with those kind of things because you open up walls, you just don't know what you're going to find.
Nope, you don't. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the middle of all of that, as a matter of fact, in our little town, my husband has a big cycling background. He's involved in the cycling industry. So we had the opportunity to purchase the local community bicycle shop. So we ended up buying that business in the middle of those renovations and started down that path. So it's been a very busy few years, to say the least.
Do you guys have bike manufacturers that you sell in that store? Ask because my husband is a retired bicycle mechanic of 25 years. I retired him thanks to real estate, and so he's very well versed with the bike shop universe. In fact, I met him working in a bike shop myself, doing name readies. I was just the one that would just build the little kids' bikes, 16 years old.
Yeah, that's amazing. We carry different vendors, but Trek is really our primary vendor to work with. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah. Where are you based, Jennifer?
Yeah, so we're based out of Dallas. So Dallas has some bike shops you've probably heard of, like Richardson Bike Mart is a big one that has a lot of franchises, and they were started right here. And that's probably the main one around here these days. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear how the bike business is going for you. And do you own the building itself to get back to real estate as well as the business, or how did that work out for you?
So we have the opportunity to buy the building right now. And so we're talking to the owner of the building and trying to work out some creative terms to do so. So yeah, we're definitely excited about that opportunity. So we can own both the real estate and the business.
That's the best.
Yeah, the best for sure. But yeah, so after that historic flip and then the bike business, I just took a pause and really focused on my traditional real estate realtor activities and really building that. I left my W-2 job back in February and was focusing on real estate. And then I joined Pace's community, Pace Morby sub-2 community, and really just was evaluating how I wanted to show up as an investor going forward, and was just listening. And I didn't think I wanted to do short-term rental or necessarily a fix and flip. And I really wanted to dive into the world of creative real estate and holding assets. And he had been talking a lot about RV parks. And so I thought, that really aligns with what we're doing with the bike shop in terms of our passion to get people out in nature, get kids off screens, get families connected, build community. And I loved the idea of owning real estate as well as a business on top of it, the multiple revenue streams that come from RV parks. So I set a goal for myself back in January that my goal was 1, to leave my W-2 job, and 2, to acquire my first RV park. So I did another mastermind specific to RV parks. I did an underwriting workshop so I could understand how to analyze the deals, backward and forward. And 2 weeks ago, my partner and I just closed on it's not exactly an RV park, but pretty close. It's a tiny home park in southern Utah, right outside of Zion National Park.
Oh, that's great. That's a great tourist area. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. And we were able to negotiate terms with the seller. So we purchased it on seller finance and then did our own capital raise to close on it.
Cool. Congratulations.
How did you find the deal on the tiny homes outside of Zion? How'd you find that deal?
No, that's a great question. So if you've listened to Pace and all of his content around bird dogs, so we had a bird dog bring us the deal based on the buy box that we created and published in the community. So we had other members of the community bringing us deals that fit our buy box.
So how do you compensate the bird dogs?
Yeah. So we negotiated a fee, and when we closed on the deal, she ended up getting paid $10,000 for bringing us the deal.
Nice. Okay. So she did a search and was it kind of like a wholesale where she marketed for it, or she just knew of somebody?
So basically, no, it wasn't wholesale. So she wasn't, it's different than being a wholesaler in that all she has to do is find the deal and bring it to us. She doesn't have to have it under contract, nothing. She can just scour the listings on like Crexy, for example, and then and say, hey, this park fits what you're looking for. And then we say, great, we'll do our underwriting. And then if we close on the deal, then she gets paid.
Great. Thank you for explaining how that works with bird dogs in this particular case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
she could possibly be bringing you 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or more before you light on the one that works.
Right, exactly. So what we do is we give anybody that's bird dogging for us, we give them feedback so that they, know why that might be something we're not interested in. For example, I've been looking at analyzing some co-living deals, and one of the criteria is we don't want anything with an HOA. So sometimes bird dogs will bring us deals. There's an HOA, or maybe the square footage is too small. So we'll give them that feedback so they can do better and learn and grow. And it's nice to partner up with a couple bird dogs so you start to build that relationship also.
Yeah.
When you're doing that, Kelly, do you do like a group with all of them type of feedback, or do you do each individual feedback for each individual bird dog?
Yeah, each individual, because everyone's kind of working independently and bringing different deals, and every deal is a little bit different. But, that's why the buy box exists. So they have those parameters that they're looking at. And, we really want to train them to make sure that they're not bringing stuff for any investor that is outside of the buy box, because then it becomes time consuming to continue to look at deals that really aren't a fit for you.
And do you find that when you're they're kind of not clear about things, that you have to go in and maybe fine tune your buy box a little bit too, as you're going through this process?
100%. And as a matter of fact, when we were at our owners club meeting back in June, we were tasked with create your buy box, because it's gonna make you more focused. It's gonna make you save you time and all of these things. And that in and of itself was pretty challenging, because you tend to, as an investor, have shiny object syndrome, where you want to do all the things.
Yes.
You want to buy land.
So yeah.
It's like, how do you pick? Because everything sounds so lucrative and fun, and so really picking something and getting it down on paper is definitely a mindset exercise to be able to say, okay, I'm going to do RV parks. And the other part of it is the mindset around, well, if I put down RV parks and bird dogs keep bringing me RV parks, am I going to know how to purchase it? Am I too scared to take that next step and move forward with an acquisition that large?
That's true. Very true.
Yeah,
It almost also, Kelly, kind of forces you to, when you want to put it down on paper, it puts that in your brain to force you to kind of really focus on, yes, I am going to buy this large of a purchase, and going through the steps of underwriting each one to the point where you're like,
Yes.
oh, I got this.
It's
Once
true.
you learn it, it's such a,
That's
yeah.
one of the things I talked about this past weekend, was how it really, when you do choose to focus that way, you really gain specialized knowledge in that particular asset class, and it makes
Yeah.
it much easier to start evaluating deals and know pretty quickly whether or not it's something you want to continue to pursue.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people when they're first starting in real estate do single family homes, which makes sense because it's easier to go through that process, and it's a great learning tool. It's like learning to crawl before you walk, and then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to do something bigger, and there's new things to learn. I mean, you get into commercial and things like that. It's a whole nother language.
Yeah.
It is.
So
Yeah, it really is. And we, now that we're on the other side of that, it's been very interesting in terms of the operational side of owning a park like this. And, we didn't really think about it beforehand, but we're essentially running 40 Airbnbs because there's 40 homes in the park. And we didn't really think that, we didn't really think about the operational part of that. And the previous owners, they were amazing visionaries, but not necessarily great operators. So we are doing a lot in terms of stabilizing operations through systems and processes, maintenance that had gone deferred, and really marketing. They did very, very little marketing. So I have a marketing background, so I'm able to leverage that to help support the growth of the park.
That's fantastic.
So how many units was it? 40, you said?
Yeah, 40.
So can I ask what the offer kind of looked like? What percentage? Was a negotiation back and forth with the owners? Were they open to it right away? Did you, how did that play out for you guys?
Yeah. So it was really interesting. And Pace talks about this all the time, and a lot of buyers do, but building a relationship is critical. So we were in contact with the broker, who was amazing. She's a woman who we just connected with personality wise. So my partner is Nicole Reed. She's actually based in Washington, and she's also a part of the Gator Community and Owners Club. And we started having a back and forth conversation with the agent about the offering memorandum, all of the information that was in the packet. And one thing I want to just kind of mention is, oftentimes when you get information from a broker, you have really big gaps of information that aren't there, and you need to do quite a bit of work to fill in the pieces.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were a few times where we were just like, the underwriting tool wasn't really working, and we didn't have all the information, and we had to really show up again and again to continue to plug away at doing the underwriting and gathering the right information so we can really get a clear picture of the deal. And so we did that with emails back and forth. And then one day she's like, let's get on the phone with the seller. And we weren't really quite expecting that. And turns out the seller was a young woman. She's like 31 years old, and remarkable story in that her and her husband actually manufactured and built all of these tiny homes through their other business, and then bought the land, built the park, and they ended up closing down the building business and moving out to Tennessee. And basically, they were experiencing some health stuff and whatnot. So we ended up getting on the phone with her, and I think that she really connected with us, honestly, because we were women, and we really built rapport and trust with her, and honored really what she had built, and wanting to build upon that and really bring that vision to life in a way that maybe she just wasn't able to do,
right,
for various reasons. So we kind of just talked through that, answered questions, and then we sent over an LOI. And we knew that she was open to seller finance, but we put together an LOI, we sent it over, and she was like, basically agreed to our terms for the most part. And so we
Oh.
got on a call with her. We just talked through it so that we can kind of work through some of the little details. And that was it. It was that easy.
Nice.
Huh.
So was there a large down, or what was the, mind out price, the numbers, how that played out?
Yeah, not at all. So the purchase price was 2,000,008 is what we landed on. We actually seller financed 1,000,009, about 1,000,008 eight or so of it, because she had an underlying SBA loan that we took over. So she reduced the purchase price a little bit more because of that. And so we seller financed that portion of it, and it's a hybrid because there is another underlying loan that we're going to be paying. So it's a little bit of sub 2 and seller finance. And then we had about 30% balance that we raised capital. So we did a capital raise on our own and raised the rest of those funds.
Did you do that through the sub 2 group then as well?
So we did that through sub 2, through personal relationships that we've built, and we have a total of 6 private money lenders in on the deal.
So they're getting annual dividends, or how did you guys? How are you paying out?
Yeah, we're just paying them interest. So we're just paying them interest and they have a monthly payment that we'll make to them.
Perfect. So no ownership into it.
No,
just okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And how long do you have to pay these guys off?
So we're going to do a 5-year balloon.
Nice.
So we're planning on refinancing, some maybe sooner than later, but definitely at that 5-year mark.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So how many acres is this on? And you should maybe share the little link with us so everybody can.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the other things that's really cool and exciting is that just up the road from the park is a like world-renowned mountain biking destination that I had no idea. And so because of my husband's relationships in the cycling world, we're able to now leverage that for the park. And as a matter of fact, in November 7th, that weekend is a huge mountain bike race that's happening. So we'll be really collaborating with them to really become like a hospitality partner ultimately. So we're really tapping into
that. That's freaking awesome.
Right.
That can really launch it. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's great. But yeah, so I'm sorry, Donda, what did you ask about the destination? Where is it?
Well, you said in Zion, but they're at that area, but how many acres?
Oh yeah. So we're on just over 4 acres. There's actually 40 pads, 39 homes on site currently. We have another one that's going to be coming in. One of the owners that's already in the park is talking about moving his other tiny home back into our park. The tiny home park name is Zion's Tiny Getaway, and it's zionstinygetaway.com. And same handle for Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff.
Nice. Yeah, that's a beautiful area.
It is. There's so much to do in just a short drive, whether you're going to Zion. I mean, Bryce Canyon is about 90 minutes away. It's about 2 hours from Las Vegas, a couple hours from Grand Canyon. So you really have all sorts of fun stuff to do in the area.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful area. Well, how exciting for you. So is that generating some good income for you guys to start off, or is it going to take a while to build things back up? Because like you said, they didn't have the operations quite dialed in, or?
Yeah, so that was one of the things that really appealed to us. So by the time we closed on the property, we were at about a 13% cap rate with their net operating income. So we are cash flowing right off the bat. We'll obviously be reinvesting a lot of the money into the park itself to stabilize operations, to address maintenance, and really do some marketing. But it's there's a team in place and some cleaners in place. So we're cash flowing and just hoping to grow that going forward.
Cool. What kind of cap rate do you guys typically try to shoot for?
So we really want to look at opportunities where we can add value. So, I would say at minimum of 10 or higher, but yeah, we want to look at, where can we add amenities to the park, expand if, there's an opportunity to expand here, which we don't need to do right now because it is cash flowing, but that's another opportunity for down the road. But yeah, definitely looking for value add opportunities.
Nice. That's so exciting. I'm gonna have to go look that up. Sounds
you'll have to come visit.
Yeah. Is it close to the place that had those teepees and wagon wheel places?
So there's a place called Zion's Wildflower Resort, and I believe they have stuff like that, like some of the more of the teepees and stuff like that. And we actually went and drove around and looked at some of the other resorts in the area when we did our site visit, and that was a beautiful park also.
Yeah. So it wasn't far from there, or are you closer to Zion? Are you guys closer to
far? So we're in Apple Valley. It's actually just about 15 minutes from Hurricane, Utah, to get to the main entrance of Zion currently, it's about a 40-minute drive. However, they're paving a road that's right near the park right now that will cut across to get over to Zion. So it'll make it only about a 20-minute drive once that's done.
To the main entrance.
Yeah.
Because there's that back north entrance also, which is beautiful.
Right. And I haven't spent a lot of time there yet, so that's the next plan. We were there one time, and so we've got a lot of exploring to do. We're actually going to be spending quite a bit of time there in November. So.
Oh yeah. Well, when you go in full summer, I'll tell you where to go. Up just above that too, there's a place that the locals told us about, and oh my gosh, it is probably the most beautiful place I had ever been. It was amazing.
Oh yes, please
go through water, but you got to track through the water because the walls of the rocks there's water that flows through there, and so yeah, you don't want to go in November; it'll be too cold.
Yeah. Well, we will be there, but but we have to work. So
right. Yeah. Exciting. So they're all functional. Everything's good. Oh, nice.
Yep.
You have room to build more or to do anything, or is it like?
Yeah, so we could expand 8 more if we want to. We would just need to go back and talk to the town, but that would had originally been approved. However, we want to add some amenities. So in those empty spaces, we're thinking about putting in more of like community amenities, like a fire pit where people can get, like a lot of the homes have their own individual fire pits, but we're really trying to bring people together. And so we're thinking a community fire pit, a dog park area. People like to travel to these areas with their dogs to go hike and whatnot. So that, potentially a pickleball court down the road, but definitely a fire pit area for the community.
Yeah. Do they have a laundry?
Oh, sorry.
They take a look at facility. Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Monique.
Sorry, did you take a look at the luxury tiny homes that Craig had talked about and see if that might be a fit, something?
As a matter of fact, I wrote his name down because I want to follow up with him and chat with him, because he also does like a financing rev share thing as well. So I'm thinking about for affordable housing in different areas, like where we live. Yeah. So I have him on my list of people to reach out to.
Amazing talking with him. You'll enjoy that conversation a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Girl, these are so cute. I'm looking at your website and
aren't they
cute? Freaking adorable.
I know they did a beautiful job building them out.
They're really cool. I'm gonna come stay.
Yes, anyway. Please do.
Software did you land on to manage the 40? So I know a lot of people like to use Buildium for their single family. What software did you end up deciding to use for running the 40 STRs, short-term rentals?
Good question.
That's a lot. That's high value, right?
Yeah. And like all of a sudden too, right? So yes, Jen, that's a great question.
Yeah. So what was nice is that operationally, in this regard, they had everything pretty much dialed in. So they had all their platforms and stuff in place. We ended up taking over the LLC. So we were able to just take over all of their logins for everything as well. So they're using Guesty, or and now we are using Guesty for all of management. And then we're also using an AI tool called Bestie. I know, Guesty and Bestie. So we're using those technology tools for reservation management and AI to respond to guests, and also to help drive revenue, because they can message guests like, "Ooh, you can, do you want to extend your stay, or do you want to stay, do you want to check in a day early?" And so it really tries to help drive additional bookings.
It's so easy to remember guestie and bestie.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, guestie
That's
and
really great because I feel like sometimes little things like that can be the hurdle that can keep people. Sometimes it's easier to raise money for a good asset that has a high cap rate than it is to figure out, oh crap, now I have all these rentals and how am I going to manage them without it being a poop show? So thank you for that insight.
Yeah, and you know, it has been a little bit of that, but not in terms of the reservation thing. For us, our biggest challenge right now, and we actually have a job opportunity that we've put out there. We're looking for a manager to be on site so that we can really elevate the guest experience and know that somebody's there to handle anything that might come up for the guest while they're there.
Is that a temporary gig?
It could be. It could be. It could be.
You know, Kelly, when we were traveling a lot, we ran into people that were like retired and they would go to the national parks or they were hosts for these places. I don't know what the site was or how you might find them, but I bet you.
So it's probably camperwork.com, but I posted it today as a matter of fact.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we're posting it on. So we're open, we're flexible to different solutions, whatever will work for us and because that's what we have a tiny home that we own because we own now 3 of the tiny homes. And then the other 36 are owned by independent owners.
Oh.
So the way it works is they pay for lot rent to have their tiny home in the park. So, and then we manage their tiny home. So we get a percentage of the revenue for managing.
Oh, that's fascinating. So it's like an RV park, but not really.
Right. It's like an RV park and a resort at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So that when there's something major wrong with the building, that's not your responsibility or your cost. It's the owner's.
What a great way to cost share something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you're just getting a monthly rent, just like somebody who moves their mobile home into a mobile home park. You just charge
My mind is blown. I love that.
And what's really cool, there's only one other place in the town that's zoned for an RV park. We're the second one, and the other place, from what I understand, is charging about $600 per month plus utilities, and we're charging $400 a month, including utilities. So there's opportunity to raise, but the owners have been a little upset with the previous owners for lack of investing in the park, lack of communication, and so we really want to establish trust with them and really show them what we're doing in terms of operations, marketing, and a proof of concept so that before we ask them for more money, they know that it's going to be used to support their growth.
Yeah.
Right. And then they get to use their little vacation home whenever they want to use it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I love that. Let me know when you got one available.
I know, right?
No, I love that.
You want to buy one? Do you want to buy a home?
That's what I'm saying. Like, then I'll have equitable interest.
That's right. That's right.
And when you do the home, take care of it and manage it. I mean, that's so worth that.
So it's really hands off for the owners. And
That's perfect.
as long as they have a good manager.
To be there. I love it.
Yeah, we can all go on, girls, and have a vacation place up there.
That's right. It'll be like a timeshare. Donda, you can get these weeks. Monique, you can have those weeks. I'll take the others.
There you go.
And then we'll rent it out the rest of the time. I'll cover our costs.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
A 2-party.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it is a beautiful area. There's a lot to do there. We were there for St. George for 5 months, and oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes from St. George.
Yeah. Hurricane out there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's growing out there too. I mean, when we were there.
Yeah, that's what I was doing some research around the area, and I'm seeing that there's a lot of growth and development, specifically around Apple Valley as well. So it's exciting.
You mentioned you were also a part of Women's Real Estate Investing Network.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard good things and bad things. Tell us about your experience.
Yeah. So my experience was that I was one of the original members in 21. Mm-hmm. So it worked out okay for me because my investment, I was able to stay in the community. And as you all know, like a lot of the value is in the connections and the community
Right.
and relationships that you're building with other women or people, depending on what community you're in. And so that worked out well. And I listened to some of the education and I got what I needed and then moved on. But I still participate in the group, in the Facebook group, because I can stay in there. What I've heard from a lot of other people was, they paid a significant amount of money, and then after a short amount of time, they're basically kicked out of the community, including the Facebook group. And it's really unfortunate because that's what you need is those connections, and everybody's kind of like spinning off, and it's just become diluted, and then for them, they have to continue to market and get new people in there. So I'm yeah. Have any of you all been in that community as well, or?
No, I looked at it at one time and I remember it was like 20 grand for 1 year or something. And I'm like, oh no.
No, it's not worth it. You have all the information you need to know.
Oh, with Pace, no, this was before Pace, but with Pace's group, it was like, when I found out what the price was and it was forever, I was like, sign me up. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, Pace and Jamil too, but
yeah, there's no better community, really.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
He gives, and you can learn about the RV parks and stuff too. You can learn about single family homes, multifamily. You don't have to go buy a separate thing for each one. You use it all.
Yeah.
So,
it's also about the community and growing as a community and having so many people that you can partner with in different areas that you choose to go in, and that mindset and is so nurtured and so cultured that the people that get involved, if they plug in, you're going to find the people that you can do life within the investment realm and not feel alone and not try to do all of the components, but do what you're gifted at. And that right there is such a huge bonus for this particular community that it doesn't make sense to do anything else but this. But I mean, I'm not saying you can't pepper other things in, but this is definitely something.
You really do have everything you could ever need inside of the community. And I'll give you an example of this, which is kind of mind-blowing. So the park manager that had already been sort of hired by the previous owners had decided to leave. And Nicole and I were panicking a little bit, and we were at our board meeting in Scottsdale last week for Owners Club, and we got up on stage because we were talking about the park and our buy box and everything. We made 4 contacts that knows people in Hurricane, Utah, or are from there and have cousins or whatever it might be, just from that community in such a obscure location. And so it was amazing. We were just like, we can't even believe this.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely, I mean, I'm in other communities that are very great of their own right, like Jim Ingersoll's Elite Deal Makers and Wendy Sweet and Mary Hart's Sweetheart Women Mastermind and those type of things. And they're amazing and powerful and wonderful, but you're right, they're much smaller, which does make for better connection, I think, like you have deeper connection, but at the same time, when I have someone reach out to me and say, hey, I have this deal and it's across the country, I know I can go to my Astro family, or I can go to the people I know in Sub 2 and they can connect to the Sub 2 community, and I can find someone no matter where in this entire country. And a lot of times I already know that person, you know what I mean? And that is really, really powerful. To be really in a community that's just nationwide, big enough where you can hit anywhere in the nation, but also small enough where you can pretty much know them, like know everybody that's of significance anyway, you know. And it's so great. Go ahead.
Yeah. And to have, people in the community that have already been where you, like in your shoes, where we are now, like, new to operations and after closing, and, they understand. They're like, we get it. You're in it right now. And it's like, oh, okay. Like this is normal. And so, it's really great to have that kind of support. And even during our underwriting, like there's an RV park underwriting Zoom call every single week. So we popped in there and we made sure that we had multiple sets of eyes on our deal before we even submitted the LOI. So we were able to move forward really confidently.
Did you? I'm sorry. Connect with
if the RV is within the sub 2 group, the weekly, or is that in the owners club? The
sub 2. It might, you know what? It might be Owners Club actually, but I think they have something in sub 2 as well. I'm not sure. There's my calendar is like very colorful with all the different.
I know. Oh my gosh, mine's terrible.
Yeah.
What is Michelle
Bisson
the one leading that?
So she does her own Zoom for an RV park Zoom with Rinda Emick, who's her operations person. So they have their Zoom, and then Casey Savage has another weekly Zoom that I think he does just for Owners Club. Yep.
He's been doing that for quite a while.
Yeah.
Because he was doing it when we were in there, Sharon.
Yeah, I thought he was doing a co-living one when we were in there. So maybe I was wrong.
No, he was in the RV parks. And Tracy, she was doing
Tracy was doing co-living. Yeah, I remember that.
Tracy does co-living.
Yeah.
The Bissons, so I took their underwriting workshop. So they had one in Scottsdale, and their CFO was there, and we did an entire day of underwriting specifically for RV parks. So that was super helpful.
Nice.
And Casey Savage was actually there at that workshop. So, and then he leads those Zooms. Everybody has a little slightly different tool that they use to underwrite, but we did meet privately with Casey to look through our deal as well. So he was like, "Darn, I'm just bummed I didn't get this."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I look really good one there. Yeah. What else can we ask about RV parks, ladies?
I don't know, but I totally would love to know about the real estate market in Cottonwood and Sedona. What's going on there right now?
It's interesting. For me personally, right now, it's a little bit slow. I was actually anticipating an uptick because summer is our slow season. And because it's hot here in the summer. And usually we see it start to shift in the fall, but I've been a little bit slow. But it's an interesting market. You know, I work with a lot of investors, as you would imagine. A lot of people are looking for short-term rentals here. And I also I work with a lot of second home buyers. So people that are buying a second home or maybe a home that they eventually want to retire to. So there's a lot of that. As a matter of fact, one of Donda's friends, I supported in finding her a short-term rental. I'm going to see her this weekend.
So we're going to be there Friday for the birthday. Freeman's birthday.
I'll probably see you because I just texted her today and said, you know, are you going to be around this weekend? So,
perfect.
At any rate, so a lot of investors and second home buyers and a lot of out-of-state buyers. So same with Amy. When I sold her home, I do a lot of video tours. So I do FaceTime tours and show people homes that way. And oftentimes they're buying sight unseen.
Which is what Amy did. And Amy just couldn't get it. I mean, she was so excited and so happy about what Kelly did for her. You went really above and beyond. That's what makes you that unicorn agent. And she has nothing but amazing things to say about you. And we're so thankful that you reached out. And Jim, I think my husband was the one you guys were.
Yeah, he posted something in the community and I popped in and I was like, I'm here, I can help. So yeah, it really worked out great. And I just adore Amy. So.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. And I'm super excited to see what she's done with the renovation and design. And we can plug her Airbnb too, once it's live and ready to book. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What did they buy? Almost $1 million, and she's put like 250 into it.
Just under. She was around like the mid 900 mark, and she's doing a full renovation to create a really special experience, like very organic and like natural type of stay, like health oriented. Really differentiate herself in a very saturated Airbnb market.
Yeah, she's trying to go above and beyond. So I think they'll bring in the client, especially the clientele for the higher end clientele with that area, because that's what Sedona's known for is,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, for anyone interested in getting into the short-term rental space in Sedona, you really need to do your homework, do your underwriting, and really understand the market, because there are a lot of neighborhoods that have homeowners associations that don't allow short-term rentals. Many of them are 30 days or more, sometimes even 6 months or more.
Is there a software that you know of that makes that? I mean, does AirDNA by chance have a feature or something like that? It'll show you, okay, this is an STR no-go area. Do not purchase.
I don't know that.
Not buy. Yeah.
I don't think you can filter that way in terms of homeowners associations, but you can see, I think when you're looking at the map, there's certain pockets where there are short-term rentals and then other pockets where you won't see short-term rentals. But
Oh, that's your clue.
yeah, I would say I don't use AirDNA because I'm not investing necessarily in Sedona, but I would say if anybody's looking to buy, then reach out to me, because I can make the phone calls to the homeowners association or to the listing agent to find out, if it's allowed or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, their spot's amazing, right by the
Good question.
downtown, and then the park's walking distance. We went to visit them a couple times, and we were just able to walk around over to the park and watch the sunset. And there was a band playing out in the summer, and it was awesome. It's a neat place. We love it. Yeah, I hope to see it this weekend.
With the economy where it is, I bet you're targeting places where, like Scottsdale. I was at Scottsdale a couple of months ago, and it seemed like it was very high socioeconomic status there. So are you, and I think we've all studied enough to see that right now, higher price points are still selling above asking. So in other words, the top 5% of Americans, that economy is still moving like nothing happened. And for the bottom 95%, they're taking on multiple jobs. They're feeling the squeeze in some crazy ways. And so are you having to adjust your strategy for short-term rentals, like the purchase that you did? I mean, with respect to where the economy is now, or is it, you know what, we're going to buy it, screw the economy. It's an amazing cap rate, and it's kind of hard to go wrong at 13 cap. Unless we just totally screw up management, right?
Right. Well, so that's a great question. And the thing that I think about our park is that it really is an affordable stay for a lot of people. So, and it's the kind of stay where you can throw your family in the car and do a road trip, and you can house your entire family in one house. You can bring your pets. You can do all your thing inside the home, so you can save money by not having to go out to eat. So you really have that full experience, and I mean, obviously this is for local travelers if they're coming from around the area without flying in, but even still, to be able to stay for $100 a night for your
that's beautiful.
So at a price point that is more economical than, say, like a normal hotel room, and you have an experience that's really unique.
And a kitchen, right? They have kitchen and all that. So a lot of those hotels don't. You can makes it more affordable because you can pack groceries and make lunches and all that kind of stuff.
So you've got hotel prices with Airbnb availability to cook. So we travel a lot, as most of the folks here who know me know, but we travel by car, and we do that by design. And we do not like to eat out as a family. I hate wasting money. I just see what I can put in the stock market or in properties and the cash on cash returns. And I don't know, a little OCD about getting return on investments for my cash. So we never go out to eat unless I'm treating someone as an investment in my relationship with that person, right? So we go to Airbnbs so that we can cook. So what you're telling me, which is amazing, is that we have hotel prices for Airbnb,
I think,
and for that area especially. So we've got hotel pricing below market with Airbnb amenities, the ability to cook near a national park.
Exactly.
I don't see why you're not just going to freaking kill it.
I know.
Right? That's a trifecta that is foolproof. It seems like so. Congrats on that asset. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Kelly, you're not far from the ski lodge either. There's a ski lodge up north of you guys too.
That would probably be about 5, because this is southern Utah, so I think it really is. It's more like, are you thinking like Salt Lake City, which is about 5 hours
No.
away?
We
Okay.
we drove to. We were staying in St. George, and there was a ski resort north, kind of the north part of Zion, and then we went up into the hills and stuff. And there was a ski lodge up there. So
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, to stay at a ski lodge is usually very expensive. So for people to be able to afford something like Jennifer's point, it's a hotel with experience, and yet you're still drive up to the lodge and back at the end of the day, and then sit by the fire.
Yeah, it really is a nice, affordable place to stay for a family, and to have the amenities and things to do, so many things to do nearby.
Yeah, and then St. George has so many activities throughout the year. They're just like Senior Olympics. They had what's that one when they do the running, the swimming, and the biking? They had
triathlon.
They have a name for the big one. It was people from all over the world we met there. Ironman. They had the Ironman there, and it was like, I mean, people from everywhere, and people were having a hard time finding a place to stay. So I'm sure you're not that far away that if there's nowhere to stay,
Yep.
Yeah,
for sure.
What's your maximum length stay there?
So I believe it's around 28 days. So we can do a longer stay. We can actually do longer too. We move them. So because of the tenant, landlord tenant laws, I believe, but we haven't had that since we've taken it over, obviously, but we can do longer stays.
And if you did, would you do monthly discounts? I'm asking for the viewership so they can know how to plan their stay at your place.
Absolutely. We certainly would.
Okay. Because we buy monthly discounts where we like to go, our favorite place, because it often will give us, 30% off, which is incredible. And so, people who do that like we do, we're looking for monthly discounts.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, especially in the slow season, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You feel it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Yeah, and you guys are coming into the slow season, aren't you? With the winter?
Yeah, this is one of our really busiest months, is October, and then in like December, January, February are pretty slow. I mean, we'll have some holiday traffic for December, and then we get busy again in the spring.
Right. Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting question to call and ask, hey, when's your slow season? Can I rent a month?
Right. Yeah, that and we're really looking at ways that we can put some packages together to incent people to come in the winter and really kind of position it as like a cozy winter getaway and do little packages, whether maybe a Valentine's package, for example, and put some stuff together like that. So those are all the marketing things we're exploring right now. Collaborations with other people. Our real estate broker, actually, her husband is a guide in Zion, so we're gonna be collaborating with him. We've got some other influencers that have reached out, like Las Vegas, like Family Adventures Las Vegas. They're actually coming out in the beginning of November to stay and do a bunch of content to promote us through their channels. So we're in the works. We've had a very busy 2 weeks, to say the least.
That's awesome.
That's exciting. Yeah. You guys can do, like you said, the Valentine's thing's always the thing, or you could even promote romantic, just anniversary and getaways, and also engagement, type of thing.
We've actually had a lot of honeymooners, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So we're already thinking about exactly that. Like, how can we put packages like that together for people to make it cool? Yeah, for their experience when they stay.
Yeah. Great. Fun. How fun. That just sounds like so much fun.
It is. It's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. Once we get all the systems in place, it will be more fun.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
You get that bestie working for you on Guestie.
That's right.
It'll be great.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. I heard good things about Guestie. Do you like it?
Yeah, so far it's been great. I mean, it's really intuitive to use. It's that, and then Bestie, we just had a meeting with our rep today, and we were already just kind of like, our brains were exploding with the different ways that we can use it to like sell add-ons and stuff like that. Like, we're thinking about we're in the process of having the logo redesigned. So we want to create some merch, some cute hats, and t-shirts, stuff like that, so that as a matter once the guest checks in, they can automatically get a message from Bestie, with an offer for them to purchase merch, for example, so that something to remember their stay. So little things like that we're brainstorming, and we'll start to implement hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, I wonder if it can keep track of like their birthdays and send them out something like for a family member discount for their birthday or things like that. I wonder.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely can.
Wow.
So we heavily attend national parks every year, and I notice the vendors that sell things like if you can become an official salesperson for Zion, magnets, shirts, etc. I notice those sell better than trying to brand yourself for that particular thing, right? Now, I don't want to speak out of turn, and I really don't like to speak out of my lane. Just as a consumer, I noticed that if you're like, official Zion merchandise sold here, that just flies out the door, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I always buy a magnet wherever I go. That's my one thing. But you move a lot, Donda, so you have to move your magnets too.
Oh, I do. I got big Ziploc baggies and I take them to the next place.
That's so funny.
I want to see your refrigerator.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's covered. I love it. It's fun though. And it's something small and it's just like, I remember that.
Yeah. You can take it with you, and my suitcase is full. I'm a typical woman, so I can't buy a sweatshirt. I don't need another hat, but I always need another magnet. So
that's so funny. I love it.
Now we know what to send Jennifer for Christmas.
Magnets. I love all magnets. I have one that says "Welcome to the Nut House," and it's a squirrel who's got all these nuts in his cheeks.
That's so cute.
And then some others that I don't want to dilute your brand with, Sharon, but they're clever, right? We'll just say that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, here we are at the top of the hour again, ladies. We always run out of time, which is wonderful because I can chat with you for hours.
I know. It's fun. Kelly, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
I did. I really appreciate you having me on and having the opportunity to speak with you all. It was super fun.
I'm inspired, genuinely. Thank you for inspiring.
I'm glad. I hope somebody else is as well.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, those are some great ideas that you put out there. So let me put your stuff up. My dog climbed in my lap and fell asleep, so I'm here. But to the audience, we can find Kelly on Facebook or Instagram. And she does have a website where you can contact her, as well as the tiny homes. There it is. Tiny Homes Getaway at ZionsTinyGetaway.com. Kelly,
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We'd love to have you on again. Let's say, 4 months. Let's see how the progress is on getting the operations going. That would be great.
Yes. Give me 6.
Okay.
So we got to get her through the winter.
Exactly. Through the winter.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, ladies. Bye.
Good night, ladies.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hope to see you, Kelly.